Ooh, hello everyone. Great day to
Hey,
you. Welcome to the Personal Development Productions. And today is a great day because we looked at a lot of things about personal development and how we move. Most of us have absolutely very little patience. We want to get to it. We want to have it instant. We love instant gratification. If it does not happen now or sooner, we wonder what is taking so long. Well, personal development in itself, you cannot push personal development to say that you're going to have it in an instant. You can get on the racetrack with it and say, I know everything about personal development and I'll have it in a moment. I have read my 79 million books. I know personal development right away and I can do it. So let me get started. But let me read one more book before I get started. And you forget that book is on procrastination. Have you ever tried to read a book on procrastination fast? It will never happen. You have to be able to take your time and understand that personal development opens our hearts, our minds, and our souls to the things that we want. So, opening up and talking about the subject as we go along, let me introduce my fellow partners, Ms. Kelly Shea Song and Professor, of course, Samantha Glass and myself, Lester Bailey. We're all here talking about our journey to what personal development is. How many areas of development are you looking for in your life? Where is it in your life that you feel that you're not doing your best? Now, I know that some of us who are, what do we call that? People who love to make sure they're perfectionists, and perfectionists really say, I got this right here, right now.
mhm.
We know that's a lie, right? Even perfectionists know that we're never perfect. We just tell everybody we are. Some of us are recovering perfectionists, kind of, sort of, in some type of areas. We don't do it the way that we want to because we're sprinting to the finish line, but we're never taking what we need to take along with us. So, as we open this discussion, and you can see the perspectives of each one of us, let's start out with Professor Samantha Glass.
Woohoo.
Well, look, I like to do what's called wake up and smell the roses, or smell that, take the time to smell the coffee, right? You sit in the morning and you sit outside on your porch, or you sit in a room where you have the windows open and listen to the birds. Lester's got great sounds in his backyard, or sorry, the front of his house.
Yes.
But you have to take the time to enjoy what's in front of you. And if you just ran through, let's say Lester leaves his house and he's like, yeah, I'm just going to go. And he doesn't take the time to listen to that, you won't see the beauty in it. You won't realize how relaxing that can be. And that's just from a perspective of self-care, really, to unwind and clear your mind. But on any journey that we go through in life, I find that people are so focused on that end game that they don't have fun on the journey, right? They're just like, they look at the goal and they're like, yeah, I succeeded at the goal, but how the heck did I get here? And they just don't have a story to tell. They don't remember, So I think you said it before, marathon. You talked about a marathon. And when I hear the word marathon, I think of long term. I think of let's slow down. Let's get through this. Let's enjoy the journey, the struggles, whatever we have to face. It's all an experience that we learn from, or we don't learn from, and then we make the same mistake again. But the point here really is that, gosh, life is just an amazing journey, and we should cherish those moments. And with social media, unfortunately, it's hard to learn to step back and enjoy. I heard today on the radio when I was coming back home that the average amount of times that someone looks at their cell phone is 96. I thought it was over 200, to be honest with you. Maybe that's just me, right? But if we keep our face in the phone, or we keep ourselves online, we forget to adore and admire the beauty around us, the time that we spend with our family and friends, that amazing book that we read, the songs that we listen to, the silly things that we do, because we're caught up in things that maybe are not as important, right? So I love this idea. I love the idea of saying, you know, this is not a race, more of a marathon, because a race, it may not be fulfilling, really, if you think about it. There are many stories out there. I always think of my story, my first weight loss journey, where I succeeded. Part of me was still not happy because it's not what I wanted, but I don't remember what the heck the journey was. If you ask me and ask me, how did I do? I have no idea. I don't remember. I didn't enjoy it. So, you know, we have to slow down. As much as life is fast, we need to slow down. Take the time for yourself. Set that time, carve it out, set that time aside, and think about the amazing things you did today.
I like, you know, when you, both of you, the idea of now and not knowing like how you got there. I think, you know, people always say, well, we're busier than ever now. We were always busier than ever. Take me out when I was born in 75. People then could be like, we're busier than ever now. The thing is everyone is active. There's lots of things and events and what, name it, to fill up our schedules and fill up our days. And we're often just cruise on autopilot. I think that's fair to say, going through the motions, if you will. So if we're not in tune, we don't have practice in stepping back and really looking at or paying attention to the decisions that we're making, that tell, you know, those are the directions that we're going. So, you know, when that happens, then our view becomes narrow and we miss bigger opportunities. So, you know, if it's focusing our minds, I wanted to pull up, I had come across, thank God Lester called on Samantha, because I was like feverishly, I'm like, I remember coming across something at some point in time, and we have, you two don't steal it. This is, you guys watching don't know, but our final thoughts, mine's going to include something about the state of mind, but that there are different states of minds, and being able to and learn to recognize what state of mind we're in, you know, on autopilot. When we're on autopilot, like Samantha said, you know, she doesn't remember her journey. Well, one, if it's, our rule here with anything is if it's not fun, we're out. But if it's not fun, you're not going to remember it. It's kind of like, why can someone be so focused on things that they love, but then they have a mundane task or something that is like, you know, some people love folding the laundry. I can tell you, I am not waking up tomorrow like just in my excited britches to fold all the laundry. That is not the case. But what you don't remember because it wasn't fun. And so when you recognize the habits of your mind, that autopilot kicks in. When you're doing mundane things that don't get you excited and feeling like this is so inspiring and motivational, you are on an automatic program to be like, this sucks. I'm not really loving this, and I'd rather go out and smell the roses. I'd rather go smell that coffee in my hand as I drive myself through the drive-through, retreating myself before I ever do the mundane shit that I have to. But that's that autopilot. We don't even think about the situations anymore. We just go through the motions. And that's that now mentality. That's one of a gentleman that I admire and respect very much. He, over the years, has referred to that as a microwave mentality. His references in business, but you can use that reference anywhere. And that's, I gotta have it now. What is Lester, Sam? We've said in other shows. What this? You know, life isn't really Burger King. It's not. You can't have it your way. Not all the time. You really just can't. But you can get familiar with the traps that we fall into mentally with our thinking, and we can make different decisions from there. So I don't know. I like this. I like the idea of, you know, actively analyzing our thoughts, and in doing that, continuing to learn and build. Even though I've been doing it for some time, I still need refreshers and I still learn new things because where I am now, I was in a different place 6 months ago. I was in a different place 3 months ago. So I can't assume, well, I guess I can. I choose not to assume that my autopilot mental, whatever you want to call it, is going to serve me the way it did 6 months ago. So, yeah.
Here's a test I want everybody to do. I want you to think of the color blue. I want you to, look around where you are, wherever you are, and remembering the color blue. And I want you to really pay attention to everything that you see that's around you that's blue. So I'm going to give you 10 seconds to look around and see everything that is blue. Now, it seems like 10 seconds should be, kind of quick, but this is now the 10th second. Now, I want you to tell me how many things did you see that were red?
A lot.
Because you were thinking of one thing, you were thinking of the blue, but it's what did you miss in between that time? What items that you can really look back at and see the blue items, even though I chose the color red, how many blue items did you miss in that amount of time? See, looking at it the sprint way, as we like to say in business or in school, the Cliff Note version of this, you miss so much because you're in a hurry.
But what happened to the blue? Like I saw the blue, but I saw the other colors too.
But again, it's the journey that the other people missed. You didn't count the red. Like any test, people don't
I would need
ask
more
you.
than 10 seconds.
They never ask you what you think that they're going to ask you on a test. You can ask the professor if she's been going in class. She studies 900 hours, and then they ask her a question. It's like that wasn't there, but that may have been the very first thing in the sentence that they asked you. It may be the very first thing, and often we miss things because we don't see the journey of it. When we were starting out in personal development a couple years ago, now it's about 5 years ago, when we were starting out really paying attention to it, the things that we missed is like our desire. Everybody has had a dream since they were a kid, something that they wanted to do, someone they may have wanted to meet. All of that, because it didn't happen, you missed the journey on your way to seeing what part of life is beautiful. Most of us walk out of our house, we make it to our car, but we don't see the squirrel or the rabbit that's running around. We miss that. You may come up with a new bush, or maybe they had a new construction project on your way to work, and you're so aggravated because you were trying to get there, and that construction item just got in your way. And when they finished the building, you ask yourself, when did they put that there? All of us have asked that question. It's like, how long has that been there? How did I miss it? They didn't always have a bush out in front of my house, did they? It's your house. How many things do you miss inside of your own house? How many times do you miss business opportunities because someone is telling you about what's going on the left? And all of a sudden you're like, I want stocks. I want stocks. I want stocks. And Bitcoin snuck in. And I'm going to show you a real easy thing behind it. Bitcoin snuck in the door. Bitcoin, when it started out, was less than $1 per share. Less than $1 per share. But today, it's a lot more than $1 per share. A whole lot more money than $1 per share. But we missed the opportunity because we were in a hurry to get the one thing and paid no attention to the other. Mark Zuckerberg turned around and put up Facebook stock. How many of us missed that day that we could have had our Facebook stock? We're like, oh man, I could have done this. The kids who sold Instagram to Facebook, they only got $10 billion. If they would have waited one more year, they would have made twice that. Because life is a journey. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. When you're looking at your desires, your goals, look at how many things have you missed, especially ladies that like going out there and finding a good sale. And you're in there like, oh my God, I gotta have this. And you bought it and you get home and somebody said, I just got this for $5 and you want to beat them. you, you just want to beat them. It's like, how did you get what I've been looking for? Slow down sometimes. What you're missing is something that's a part of you. That's the important part. Professor?
Sorry. I love what you're saying here. And I'm just
Yeah.
thinking, I keep replaying in my mind those things where I wish I would have slowed down, right? That's what I'm doing right now. I'm listening to you. I'm like, my gosh, I remember things being in a certain place. And now all of a sudden, like in my area here, it was all fields. It's just fields in my neighborhood. And now there are buildings everywhere. And you never know, you blink your eye and something else shows up. And the other thing I was thinking is, I go out in the morning and I'm like, oh, I'm going out in the morning. I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to get into rush hour traffic. I'm going to turn up the music and have karaoke at 7:00 in the morning, and everyone's going to stare at me like I do.
I'm in.
Yeah. But you know what I noticed when I come back home, when I know that my mind can slowly turn off and I come back home, that's when I'm appreciating everything. That's my time of day where it's late at night and I know it's time to just start to unwind. And so it's funny. I'll sit in my car in the driveway. I might sing in the car. This is like late at night. And I'll see animals. I'll see rabbits, raccoons. I'll see things. And I even saw a possum the other day.
Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah. So that's what I notice is that I always do that. And what I've started to do recently is go for walks through my beautiful park here, which I didn't realize how beautiful it was until I started to just not walk, run through the park, not really for exercise, but more just to breathe the air and to look at everything, right? So I was taking pictures of trees and taking pictures of animals and different little things in the park that I might have not seen before. And I've lived in this neighborhood for, probably 25 years, right? And I didn't notice them before. So Lester, what you're saying, it's so true. I mean, we really need to realize that before we know it, we're going to blink our eyes and we're going to miss out on something huge. And then we turn around and we say to people, hey, I didn't know that was happening. If your eyes were open, not even just if your eyes were open, because our eyes are open. And I've heard Kelly say autopilot, right? It's true. We go on autopilot but we don't turn on our brain to the awareness portion. So I think that's the thing. You need to know when to turn it on. It's okay to tune out and go on autopilot, but there are times when you should be aware because that's when you miss out the most, right? I'll be honest. And people know they get in their car, they go to work, they drive to their office. They're like, how the heck did I get here? I don't remember the drive. That's autopilot. It's okay. Just don't get into an accident. What's not okay is when you start to miss opportunities, when you start to miss your family, miss your friends. That's the part that's not okay. And, I look at my son. My son is taller than me now. He's 13 years old. And I say, my God, only yesterday you were a baby. It's one of those things. Because during the time I was raising him, I was in school. My life was taking a turn. And as much as I spent time with him, I was in a stage of growth that I didn't have as much time. So with my son now, Gabriel, I make sure that I give so much more time because I know before I know it, I'm going to snap my finger and he's going to be taller than me as well. So you have to cherish these moments. You really have to cherish your life and realize really what is important to you because you don't want it to be gone, right? You don't want to miss out. Things just go so fast, right? You don't realize it.
It's true.
Yeah.
I like the, I don't know. There's a lot of things I could say, but I like the idea. And it is, I don't know, conversations where someone's like, you can say, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's believable. It is believable because everybody can relate to what Samantha was saying. Everyone can relate to Lester's test. You just you're focused on this, but forgetting the rest and not paying attention to details that could make a huge difference in your life. And a huge difference might be, a small difference per se, depending. I mean, Samantha could be like taking pictures of the animals and the flowers and the trees. Someone could be like, well, that's not a big difference. Well, it's a small thing that makes a big enough difference for her when she's lived in the neighborhood for over 25 years and she's now appreciating these things.
Yeah.
You're muted, Lester.
I was saying, it's how many more times? How many more times? How many people have taken a selfie and didn't notice what was in the background until you took the selfie?
Yep.
A tiger is going to eat your head off.
Yep.
You know, if everybody remembers Andre Agassi, Andre Agassi was in the tennis game for years. Him and Serena Williams started at the same time. Who was the sprint and who was the marathon? Don't miss the opportunities that are in your life just because age, just because you're not ready, just because you don't see them. Take the time out in personal development to learn the person whom you are. Because when most people ask you, what do you really like? It's bad when you have to sit there and really think about it because you use the words, I never thought about that.
I never thought
So,
about that.
so as our favorite saying goes, as we wrap this up and we wait further the conversation, what are your final thoughts? And tonight we're going to start out with Kelly, seeing as though that she kind of gave you a tip and a clue in the beginning.
I did, but now I've changed directions.
She got on their journey.
Yeah, I switched it up. That other inspiration will come to you either from somebody else or on a different day. You will hear it again and again here. Anyways, talking about like on autopilot, going through the motions and things. I'm just going to read 2 stanzas of a much longer inspiration because these two, well, here we go. Do you run through the day on the fly? When you ask, how are you? Do you stop? Do you actually hear the reply? When the day is done, do you lie on your bed with the next 100 chores running through your head? You better slow down. Don't dance so fast. Time is short. The music won't last. When you run so fast to get somewhere, you miss half the fun of getting there. When you worry and hurry through your day, it's like an unopened gift thrown away. Life is not a race. Do take it slower. Hear the music before the song is over.
That's a call for our show. Sorry, guys. Hold on one moment. We're live. So first of all, everybody, make sure that you like and subscribe to this, to our channel here, because your support helps us to grow and it keeps us coming back, which we love to do. So make sure that if you are someone that's watching, share with your friends. Thank you for everybody that's given me feedback. And feedback to my partners. We greatly appreciate that we make a difference in your lives every day. And that's why we come here. And I'll tell you right now, you guys make a difference in ours. So we appreciate you. I just wanted to let everybody know that. Thank you so much. And for my final thought, Lester, life is a marathon, not a sprint. I have it as a sprint, but it's a race. I like this. Train for endurance, not for speed. And that's really what it's about, right? You need to hold on for the long run. Whatever you're doing, you need to hold on. You need to find mechanisms in your life. And that includes self-care, personal development, professional development, exercise. You have to be well-rounded. And well-rounded, well, that's defined as whatever you want it to be. But you need to look at it from the perspective of you want to be here for the long run. You want to enjoy things for the long run. So how do you do that? How do you do that? And that comes with self-reflection. Those are my final thoughts.
Accept responsibility for your life. Know that it is you who will get to where you want to go and no one else. Slow down, smell the roses, actually see the roses, and you'll enjoy your life much more. Until the next time, you all stay safe, like and share, and talk about it. We want to hear from you again soon.